proving that the fandom menace isn't just angry males. It's toxic femininity, brought to you by Midnight's Edge After Dark, with Mecha Random 42, Mary Mayhem, and Miss Sarcastic Nerd. Welcome once again to another edition of Toxic Femininity. I am your announcer, Tom Connors, and with me, as always, is Miss Sarcastic Nerd. How are you doing tonight?
I'm great.
Good to hear. And, of course, the mistress of mayhem herself, Miss Mary B. How are you doing?
Well, howdy, y'all. I'm pretty good.
Excellent. And also with us, as always, last but not least, of course, if I can find her.
It's okay. My writing crop's got a little bit of a boo-boo on it. It's got an alley.
Anyway, the YouTube harpy, ninja robot, angel demon, Miss Mecha Random, however many other names she has.
I still miss Incandescent. I haven't heard that one in a while.
Incandescent, Ebullient, Brandy,
Brandy,
Randy. Okay. And how's Mecha doing?
I am good. I saw Spider-Man. God, I just read Star Trek in the chat. Spider-Man today. It was good. I liked it. No spoilers, but it was good.
Yep. I have my non-spoiler review up, and Mary is going to see it tonight, and I think Miss is jealous.
No. Though I would like some popcorn.
Okay. Yeah, you shove some popcorn in the closet for her.
Yeah, got it. Sorry. I'll get right on that.
So, what do you guys have on deck for us tonight? Mary, why don't you kick it off?
Alrighty. Well, I did put out a video today, and full props to you, Tom, for sending me the article in the first place. Tom knows just how to rile me up. So I put out a video today on Mulan. If you want, I'll go ahead and pull the article up here and screenshot with you guys. Cool ticks. I gotta get better at this, I swear to Bob.
You can do it, but you just go ahead and read it. I'll just screen share it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right. So the article says Disney's live-action Mulan reportedly replaced Mushu and made changes to original songs. So basically, the article just goes on to tell us that Mushu is now going to be a phoenix, which is weird, because this is Chinese mythology we're talking about here, right? Why would you turn? I had quite a few people comment on this in the comment section earlier today, and they made some great points. This is phoenixes are Greek mythology, as I understand it, and so to put a phoenix in a Mulan movie is really, really weird. And while I personally don't care for Mushu, I feel like Mushu, funny as he was not at all beneficial or helpful to Mulan. He's supposed to be like a guardian spirit, right? He's supposed to be helping her through this journey, and he consistently screws her over and over and over again. So I would have liked to have seen them do Mushu better, is what I'd like to have seen. I would have liked to have seen them take Mushu and turn him into an actual guardian spirit, have him handle this in an appropriate way, as opposed to just turning him into a phoenix from Greek mythology. So I have a feeling that's not going to go over too well with the Chinese box office. They're going to be like, the fuck are you on about? This doesn't even have anything to do with us. So it's incredibly culturally inappropriate.
Is she playing Mulan?
Yeah.
Really? She played Mulan in the Once Upon a Time TV show.
No. She's not playing Mulan.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find a picture of the current Mulan.
No, I have the right one up there. Sorry.
Oh.
So the Mulan live action, I think the actress playing her, what is her name? She's actually a big star.
Yafai.
She's actually a huge star in China, as I understand it. So let's see here. Disney's live action Mulan and who they're playing. Liu Yifo, also known as Crystal Liu, is playing the titular heroine Mulan. And screen share that. Oh, yeah, you've got it. Yeah. She's quite pretty. I think I'm just sort of over the whole Disney remake thing anyway. At this
point. I have stuff stuck in my throat. Sorry. I'm worried that they're not going to be historically accurate.
They never are.
Yeah. No, they never are, but like I feel like it's going to be worse.
Not that there's a lot for them to work with, because the Mulan ballad is pretty short and pretty small. So you have to sort of take what you can get from it, right? Like, and sort of expand on it as it is, just because it's there's not a whole lot to work with anyway. But you have the basis for a really great story. What I will say is that they're taking out the musical aspect of it, right? Like, it's still going to have music, but there's no singing, which I think is a good idea, actually.
Okay.
Like, I actually think when you're talking about some giant epic, some grand sort of Chinese epic where, you know, you've got these people in sort of fighting battlefield scenes, like how weird would it have felt to have had like singing going on in Lord of the Rings? You know, like
it was singing in Lord of the Rings.
Well, it was very minimal and it was very carefully placed, right? And even then, it still sort of felt a little weird to me.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that Mulan lends itself. I never thought it really lent itself to singing. I mean, I guess it Disney related.
And it was supposed to be. It was, you know, Walt Disney's vision, the Disney princesses thing. It wasn't supposed to be this sort of, I don't think, badass action movie. It was a princess movie. Of course, there was singing, and the dragon was pure comic relief and served no purpose.
Let me just blow up this tent full of fireworks.
Yeah.
Screw everyone.
Of course, I would love an action movie for Mulan. That would be really cool. But if they're going to mix that, they have to be very careful with it.
Yeah. I don't think any of the remakes at this point are a good idea. Like, I'm sort of over it. Now, it's no secret I liked Aladdin a lot, but I still don't think it was necessary. Mm-hmm. I just don't think that sorry, I'm being distracted by the crazy storm outside. I just don't think it's something that we need or want. Nobody asked for this.
We got a super chat.
Yeah, we do have a super chat. You wanna? I don't know if Tom wants to grab it.
All right, we have a £2 super chat from J Rob. Holy crap, I got a live show. Great hi from Ireland. Yeah, I doubt anybody really got a notification because we've been demonetized since before we even went live. So, yeah, we don't exactly have a huge audience with us, but we got about 60 of you out there watching, and we appreciate it. And we always appreciate the super chats, especially when we're demonetized. So, thank you so much again, J Rob. Continue, ladies.
Why is that? Why do you think they demonetized you?
Because it's a live show. They do that anyway, just as a preemptive thing from back when they did it with PewDiePie. It's been like that for, you know, even my shows are demonetized usually when they're live.
That's freaking crazy. Yeah. That's so stupid. Anyway, yeah, I know a lot of people are sort of on this kick, like, don't support Disney, don't do it at all. And I understand that. And I completely and utterly get behind it on a lot of levels. But at the same time, like, I've heard a lot of people say things like, you know, well, you're still over there sort of having all this faith in Disney. No, I wouldn't call it faith. I would call it hope, which I think is distinctively different. Like, I think it's very distinct. It's a different thing. It's not that I have faith that Disney is going to do it well or do it right. It's that I grew up on it. I love Disney. Disney is my childhood, right? Like, I modeled the very first person I can ever remember trying to model myself after was Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I wanted to be like her. She was my heroine who I sort of spent the rest, you know, like literally the rest of my life trying to figure out how to model myself as best as I could after this person. So Disney is ingrained into me. It's deeply, deeply it's in my soul.
Yeah.
See, I wanted to be Cyndi Lauper. What does that tell you about me?
It's different for everybody. But
Disney, Disney's changed way too much. I think
yeah.
They've completely went outside of what I believe Walt Disney's vision was for his company. They're spreading out for money, and I don't know, maybe he wanted this. I can't speak for the man, but I feel like they really should have stuck with like the fairy tales and the magic and childhood stuff that was Disney. But now they're branching out to like Marvel. They've branched out to Marvel and other things, and I don't know. I don't really have much of a, I don't know what the word is, like faith in them anymore as a company, simply because they're not them anymore. They're not Disney anymore.
Yeah. Well, they feel like sort of almost a parody of Disney. I have to have hope. Like eventually they're gonna get to a point where they're gonna run out of stuff to remake, right? So maybe one day we'll get the Disney we know and love back. Sorry. Are the live action movies, like, do they make you more interested at all in seeing these, Mecca? Or
oh God, no. no. Sorry, I'm quiet. I know nothing of Disney, and like I actually actively hate most Disney cartoons and pretty much everything like that. And like the only thing I know about Mulan is that Rick and Morty had Szechuan sauce and people like threw temper tantrums at McDonald's. So that's like all I know about it.
Well, I didn't know, because I know you're not super into animation and stuff like
that.
No,
I don't like animation either. So, like, this is so outside of my wheelhouse.
It's not even like they're gonna pull in new audiences with this stuff, you know.
But I wouldn't like I wouldn't like even like the type of people that would come to my channel aren't like Disney people. They're like more guys who collect starships of, like model like Eagle Moss models, or that's more like I wouldn't even know who to recommend or tell. I mean, I would say fuck Disney and don't like like I'm not on board with any of these live action remakes. I think they're just cash grabs at this point. They're not necessary, but I didn't like the first ones anyway, and I thought that Disney kind of went cash grabby anyway. But
well, it's not a sustainable like business model to keep remaking your own stuff like over and over again, right? Like you can only do that for so long before you're gonna hit a point where people like in mass are just gonna be like, I'm good. Like you can't keep doing this. So, and it's not going to pull in new audiences. And the people who like me, who are diehard Disney fans and love you and are going to try to hope for the best with you, are even going to hit a point where they're going to hit a wall and go, I can't anymore. I just can't. So I don't know how long they expect to be able to keep this up. I think Bob Iger's just riding it out so he can run for office.
And I think there's a big difference between like the reboots that they're doing and reimaginings are also a different thing. Like I liked the new Chucky, which is a reimagining of the original Child's Play. I really liked it, and it's been reimaginings are for me directors who really want to tell the story for themselves, but take it in a different direction. Reboots are, let's make money. That's what reboots are. And that's probably what they're going to do with Mulan.
Well, I'm hoping it'll be something grand and epic and sweeping and so incredible that like you feel like, oh, okay, this is something that was done differently enough that it deserves to be done this way. But it just doesn't seem very likely. So yeah, that's all I got on Mulan.
So we have a super chat. Thank you so very much. Let me get it back up here. It just rolled off on me. Deranged Lunatic sent us $2. Said we have 3 hot girls, and then there's Tom. That's correct.
I don't know whether or not to be like offended for Tom or flattered for myself.
Don't be. If they called me hot, I'd be like weird.
I don't know, Tom. You straddled that line of hot not too long ago,
Come on, how many girls are gonna be throwing themselves at him in Vegas?
right?
A lot.
One.
A lot.
We're all going to be going after Andre and Rob and Jeremy or whoever else.
Now, the professions of said women are really just up to interpretation.
Oh wow!
Exactly. Yeah, that's there you go. See, that's she knows. Yeah.
It was so easy.
You're such a savage.
Well, I think we beat the Mulan thing to death. Speaking of Disney and all that kind of stuff, Daisy Ridley was in the news again.
Yeah, I'll pull up the magical article of hate and distaste.
Magical. The look on your face right now.
Well, you want to hope for the best of people, but you just can't.
You just can't. Yeah, Miss, I believe, has given up on everything.
Basically, but you know, some movies have surprised me. Why is my computer being slow? There we go. There. So Daisy Ridley has said in an interview that she thinks it's fair that Star Wars: The Last Jedi suffered backlash, but it makes it sound like she's being nice. But her wording is so weird. Basically,
she's kind of an airhead, isn't she? Though Daisy
Yeah.
Ridley, she doesn't like. Who was I listening to? Someone's like, yeah, Daisy Ridley's just an airhead. She doesn't know what she thinks. She thinks complete opposite thing the next day. So
yeah, when I first heard about it, it was basically they were saying that she said, "Oh, it's okay. People can like dislike whatever. It's a movie." That's basically what I was told is what she said. But I'm like, that doesn't make sense according to the interviews that I've seen her where she's made fun of the Mary Sue thing. She's like, what, is there a thing called a Gary Sue? As if there was no such thing as that. Like,
yeah, there is. Actually, it's called a Gary Stew.
Yeah.
But she's kind of an airhead, so.
Yeah. But this is what she said. She was basically asked, did it surprise you, the backlash that the movie got? And she said, I wasn't surprised, no. It's just a different thing. Everyone's going to have an opinion now anyway on the internet. But I also think it's fair. If people hold something incredibly dear and they think they know how it should be, and it's not like that, it's fair for people to think they were done wrong. It doesn't mean they were. Ultimately, Ryan's a filmmaker, and one person can't dictate how a film is supposed to be. But freedom of expression, sure.
Why do we listen to her? She's an idiot.
It's very passive aggressive and just like, yeah, I guess it's okay they didn't like it, but they're wrong. Is what she's saying.
Why do we listen to celebrities are stupid people. I swear, every other day I hear about some stupid things some celebrities said or did, and I want to know why we're supposed to give two flying Fs exactly what it is that Daisy Ridley thinks about anything. She is an airhead. She's a complete and utter moron. She opens her mouth before she knows about what she's speaking about, and so it's just like, why the heck is anyone putting this woman, like, her words out there as if they matter or mean anything?
Because it was a slow news day.
Yeah.
I think. And they're trying to build up publicity for the next movie because they're going to drop a lot at Comic-Con probably. And yeah, we're about, what, 2 weeks away from Comic-Con? So.
Yeah, she's just being her airhead self that I've seen her in other, as you guys have said. I don't know, it was weird. It was weird how I saw people who were sort of picking it apart to make it sound like she was on our side.
Yeah.
Maybe that was them being hopeful that she was on our side, but if you really read what she says, she's basically saying, well, films are subjective. People are going to think things, but they're wrong.
Well, and it's okay that she's not quote unquote on our side. That's fine, because at the end of the day, this is her. She's a part of this product. But like, after all of the garbage and nonsense that's gone down, do you think this is gonna win us back? Do you think this is brownie points? What do you think? What purpose?
I don't want to interrupt or like stop the conversation, but I just want to clarify what she's saying. I think the part where she's saying is like, I don't think she's saying that people's opinions are wrong. I'm not sticking up for her. I think what she's saying is we're wrong about Ryan Johnson not wanting to, he wasn't doing the right thing in his opinion and her opinion.
Yeah.
I think is what she's trying to say. Now, I'm not trying to overanalyze it or interpret it, in a way that makes her sound good. But I think that's what she's trying to say with the whole thing with, Ryan Johnson wasn't legitimately trying to make a bad movie is what she's trying to say.
Oh, no. And I don't think people actually believe Ryan Johnson was trying to make a bad movie. I think it's, I mean, like the people who actually think that are probably few and far between. I don't think Ryan Johnson deliberately went out and tried to make a bad movie. I just think he's a dumbass. So I think at the end of the day, defending him in that way is in and of itself moronic and stupid. Nobody actually thinks he went out and tried to make a bad movie. And I'm completely and utterly good with this notion that she still has to be out there trying to defend her movie. And that's great, fine, well, and good. And we can agree to disagree. And this is a great example of that. But after everything that's gone down between the fandom and Ryan Johnson and everything that's gone down between the fandom and Daisy Ridley, I'm sorry, but she put herself into the middle of this by calling people sexists for using the term Mary Sue. Call me a sexist, sweetheart. Am I a sexist? Ray is a Mary Sue. Now call me a sexist. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't because I'm a woman. Bam. Your argument is invalid. Ray is a Mary Sue. And so for you to get all indignant over that and get super, super on some pious, pompous stage and stand up there and act like people who dislike Ray because of everything that she is, or somehow terrible, horrible basement dwelling cousin humpers, is stupid. You're stupid. You're an airhead. Someone please give this woman a script she can go read and get back to doing something productive. So I actually don't even think she's that good of an actress, and I'm sorry. Like,
no, she's just very boring. She got the part because she could cry on screen and kind of looked very They love to call us racist, but they also cast these women who look exactly the same in every single movie as the lead.
It's for that self-insert character thing. That's all. Most self-insert characters look like that. They're white with brown hair, brown eyes.
Very boring, very generic.
Yeah. It's just so women watching the film could identify with the character and put themselves in her place. It's why she's a Mary Sue.
I don't identify with her, and I find that insulting. And I think any woman with half of a brain can see these characters as insulting to our intelligence, because my life, not everything goes my way. I don't, I don't never fail.
It's for the fantasy of it, though.
Yeah, and I get it. I get the fantasy of it, but I want to see a fantasy character.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody who is better, better looking than that, but still I can identify with, right?
Yeah.
And this is not a fantasy.
They're I don't know. I can't find words. What she said makes no difference to what has happened. She's just the actress that was in a movie that was awful. She was a very small part of the insults that we got from people involved with The Last Jedi for disliking it. And nothing she said has really changed anything, nor has it made me think any highly of her in any place. And this article honestly was a waste of time.
I honestly think it's some measure of damage control at this point. Like, hey, we have this movie coming out here in about 6 months, right? So let's try to sort of backtrack a little bit. Like Ryan Johnson did a lot of damage a couple years ago. He did a lot of damage, and he's continued to do damage ever since. And so now Disney's in this position. I think they're starting to get a little bit nervous, like, because we didn't go away. We didn't stop. We didn't back down. We certainly didn't give our money to Solo. So I think there's a measure of caution and sort of nervousness. Like, maybe go ahead and backtrack just a little bit here. And let's sort of take stock and see if we can, because even Ryan Johnson is like sort of clammed up a little bit. He's not as provocative as he used to be. I just think a lot of people a lot of what Disney's putting out there right now is sort of middle of the road. Like, Like, let's not piss them off any more than they already are. Like, maybe we can come out of this with our shirts still intact. So yeah, I don't know if they think that will work. I don't think it's going to work. I think that the message is that they're still being jackholes over there. I still want my Obi-Wan Kenobi trilogy, damn it. Like,
Yeah.
where's that? All you had to do was listen to the fans instead of putting out these little fluff pieces that you think somehow are going to mend a bridge. No, just keep spit shit. That's all we ever wanted.
And Ewan McGregor has aged quite well.
Oh, I know. Sorry, I just got a little warm. He would be wonderful.
Yeah.
Like I never thought as a kid growing up watching Obi-Wan Kenobi that I would say to myself later in life, ooh, eye candy.
I don't know. Alec Guinness wasn't that unattractive.
No, but he wasn't eye candy.
No, but he was an old man to us when we were watching as a kid, right? Like Ewan McGregor is like age appropriate for me, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Toxic femininity.
Hey, I've seen his dick. He's not bad.
No.
He's in Train Spotting, and I think yeah.
Send me that Mecca right away.
Train Spotting is one of my favorite movies of all time. So
that could be CGI though. That could be a CGI thing.
Not from 1999, and a little independent film from Scotland about heroin. Yeah. And there's a kind of the shadows, and just see you and Bremner's also. There's a lot of dicks in that movie.
Here's the thing: who's worse, Daisy Ridley or Brie Larson?
Brie Larson's worse.
Brie Larson's worse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's just a.
Well, I think it's like evil versus stupid.
Yeah. One of them just kind of looked clueless, but she was well-meaning. The other one's just vindictive and snotty.
Super chat.
Captain Harris sends $5 on his love, I'm sure. Now, ladies, don't hog the mic all night. I'm sure Tommy and Roberta have good points to make. Can you tell I'm annoyed? I miss Tom and Drag. Oh, well, who knows? Maybe if someday we can get us up to like $100 in one show. We'll do
that. We'll do Brawless Bounce and Tom and Drag.
There you go. As far as Roberta's at trivia, so that's why Roberta's not here. So. Yeah,
I was not prepared for that emotionally. Like, the actual hell.
So I think Mecca, you've been a little bit quiet on this news. Other than that, is there anything you had to add before you this last thing?
This just seems like a slow news day just to try and get people to remember Star Wars and to talk about Rian Johnson and to talk about Rian Johnson's new movie that nobody cares about because it's not Star Wars. That's what it feels like to me.
Did you see the trailer for that?
No. I don't know. I don't care about it. It's like it's not the type of movie I would watch anyway. So
speaking of trailers, that leads us perfectly into the final story. Mecca, you saw it this afternoon, you said, in fact, so why don't you take the lead on this one?
Oh, the new woke Charlie's Angels. Well, there's a couple of little things going around it. I don't know if you guys saw the article where Elizabeth Banks is like, yes, respect or believe women always, all the time. It was a Collider article. But no, the new Charlie's Angels trailer is woke and horrible and garbage, and Kristen Stewart can't act, and we just don't like her very much. And let me Google the article if you guys want to talk about it.
I love how it's woke from the very first 3 seconds that you're introduced to the trailer. It like hit me like a truck. It just came out of nowhere. I thought they'd be subtle with it, but it was just immediate. Like,
nope. No need for subtlety when you can hit them with a sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. You have Kristen Stewart as like the sexy one. Like she's hot. Elizabeth Banks is hotter, and she's playing Bosley. When Bosley is hotter than your sexy Charlie's Angel chick, like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh. Which one's she playing? Sabrina or something? So this is kind of related to the trailer, but it's Elizabeth Banks going on her high horse about the whole Me Too movement is what it's getting into. It's like, okay, because in this movie, their main one of the angels, they're going in, and she hires them to help her because her boss doesn't believe whatever thing she's uncovered at her tech job. And yeah, so all the angels come in and rescue her, and they're like, yay, girl power, screw you, men. And the end.
Right. What was it she was saying to that one guy in the trailer? She's like something about humanity or something, or I don't remember exactly what it was. She was like whipping his butt in the very beginning, and she was
Yeah.
What was it? I only watched the trailer once.
It was so stupid.
It was just cringe. It was just cringe, wall to wall cringe. They knock a guy out, and they're like, "Oh, he'll wake up probably." They say, "So you just might have murdered a man." Oh, it's funny because it's a man.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. Oh, he'll get up unless he doesn't. Like, what the heck? Why is that funny?
It's very weird how like they. Ugh. I don't care. I didn't care when I heard about the trailer because I'm not the biggest Charlie's Angels fan. But when I watched it, I was like, wow. Just wow, Elizabeth Banks.
Why did we need to change Bosley to a woman? Why did we need to do that? Like,
because she didn't realize she was hot enough to play the part Kristen Stewart's playing. I mean, like, I'm sorry.
She's not young enough, and that's not her fault. It's Hollywood's.
Yeah, I know. I would have watched it. Kristen Stewart looks like a dude. Sorry.
She looks very, very weird.
She looks like Justin frickin' Bieber.
Yeah.
Like, she looks ridiculous right now. Sweetheart, grow your hair, put on some lipstick.
She looks more masculine than him.
I don't care. Like, there's some scenes where her hair looks perfectly fine as she has it, and then other, like, when she combs it back, it's like, ew, ew, ew.
It's a wig.
Give it style.
The only time her hair looks good throughout that entire freaking trailer is when she's wearing a wig.
Well, even then, she's still doing the Kristen Stewart thing. She's still doing that thing where she blinks too much and she's awkward. She's doing the exact same performance from Twilight, but she's trying to be a sexy spy now.
Yeah,
I get it. She was awkward in Twilight, and it was a self-insert little role like we were talking about earlier, but no, not in this. If you're the sexy one, if you're the one that can kind of slip in and out of any role, if you're the one who's supposed to be, like a female James Bond sort of thing, you're a master of disguise. You can go in and be a jockey 1 minute, and you can be a stripper 1 minute, and whatever else she is in this. I don't think she's a stripper, but the point is she's not sexy enough to do that, and she has that very awkward performance throughout the trailer, and I just why her?
I don't know. Why does anybody cast her in anything ever? Like,
I liked her. She was in one movie that I liked.
Why is she wearing pajamas?
Right?
Yeah, that outfit is just hurting my eyes, and I'm not very.
Like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt, but like all the other ladies are dressed very nice, casual, nice, to whatever. Here she is roaming around in her fucking PJs.
Actually, I think I had some satin. Well, they have like the little.
Yeah, actually, they don't even look like hers. They look like some guys.
They look like their grandmas. Those are like the old lady pajamas that I saw at like the thrift store 20 years ago.
That guy in the 70s had them.
With like some weird loafers that she threw on.
And she took his shoes.
With no socks.
Actually, let's be honest. She looks like she stole Hugh Hefner's outfit.
See, and look how cute Elizabeth Banks is. Like, if you said which one is the sexy one, it'd be like, oh, the blonde in the yellow dress.
Yeah, she looks like a mom.
Or maybe the girl in the back.
Does she kind of look like a mom?
Yeah,
like she has a couple of kids.
Mm-hmm. See, I still think Naomi Scott looks amazing. Like, she looks amazing always, right? Like, she looks wonderful in this. She seems to be, if I'm reading the trailer right, if I understand it correctly, it looks like she's sort of the newcomer to the group, which she plays really well. I think she plays sort of wide-eyed a little bit, or pretty well, actually. I love it. And so I don't know. And I'm just a fan of Naomi Scott. I think she's fantastic, but she can't save a movie by herself. And she certainly can't work against the woke politics that are dripping from every single shot in this entire trailer. Like, it's nauseating, the level of girl power. And look, to be fair, Charlie's Angels has always been, to some extent, girl power, right?
Yeah, but it was jiggle TV, though. Like, it was originally designed to see a bunch of girls bouncing around braless on TV. And you're going against that completely a little bit by being so male trashy now. I don't know. Ugh.
She's got a point, not to interject again, but it'd be like remaking Baywatch and putting all the women in as many clothes as you can.
Right?
Amish Baywatch.
Well, then that's what they're doing with the Harley Quinn, whatever, Birds of Prey too. They've got her in, basically long pants now. She's completely covered head to toe, and she's basically wearing what Brie Larson wore that looks like the thing that you drive through your car and to get it washed. One of those giant brushes with all the fringe. And
I agree with you in the chat. You want to make this more woke or whatever, or more diverse, throw in a sexy guy like Chris Hemsworth as one of the angels.
Yeah,
I would say throw in like a gay guy, even if you really want to make it
There you
woke.
go. Something like, just even you got to have the sexy guy there though for the women to.
But well, you have like a Captain Jack type. You have a sexy bi sort of character that can have the representation and still be something that women will be like, ooh, I look at you. That's what they could do if they really want to make it woke.
I'm kind of sad they got Patrick Stewart to do this.
I know. I'm a little sad he's going to be in this too, because Patrick Stewart is such an angel. I swear, I love that man to death, and so I'm just really.
I did it for the boobs.
And these girls are very they're very Hollywood, so I mean they could eat a few sandwiches.
Yeah,
every single one.
I don't know. Naomi Scott, I will probably fawn over till the end of my days. That chick is gorgeous, and I love her, and she's a good actress to boot. But she can't save this. She just can't save it by herself. And this thing is just pathetically like woke. Like and dude, the article itself, she literally said in the article. And she was talking about how she wants you to believe women and all of this nonsense. Look, I'm with Mecca. Believe women when they're worthy of being believed. Like that's just like stupid. That's like saying believe everyone all the time. You're a moron if you believe everyone all the time. So
the idea that women don't ever lie is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's a fantasy that women don't lie, and the women who are screaming "believe women" are the women who lie.
Yep.
Well, that was the first thing I pointed out when I talked about this article. Also, Tom, I did link in last year when Kristen Stewart gave an interview for Variety, specifically saying how they want to make a woke Charlie's Angels. But my first thing was like, women will lie. Women know exactly what they're doing. They will take advantage of men. That's kind of always been how smart, intelligent women, that used to be a very cunning trait,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I'm going to go flirt with somebody to get, a position or to get, it's kind of basic human interaction too. It's like you groom yourself.
That I love. That was sort of one of the powers women had, right? Like that was one of our strengths, right? Like men had their physical prowess, and women had the sort of ability to be without trying to be an asshole here, somewhat manipulative, right? Like we just sort of men were easily toyed with.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible, but now it's like
now they're just blatantly disrespectful because you wanted to toy with men because that was part of the game, that was part of the chase, part of the hunt. I mean, they enjoyed that as well because they were getting the attention of women as well, and it was kind of a give and take situation. Each person would get something out of whatever.
But not any women or we'll beat you. Yeah. What? You're a tiny little chicken-legged chick. I do not believe for 2 seconds you just took that guy down. I don't.
Right.
Oh my God.
Right. The girl weighs like 80 pounds.
Soaking wet, which don't get me wrong, I wouldn't mind making some of those women soaking wet. But at the same time, like, I don't believe you just beat the hell out of that guy. Like, I don't know. It's just gone too far. It's gone way too far. The balance is gone. And it's
I find interesting about the believe women thing is that no one's making a big deal about the Bella Thorne stuff that's been coming out. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Well, she talked about how when she was younger in the Disney Channel, working with the Disney Channel, she was getting molested.
Yeah.
Yeah, she talked about that in an interview, that she was getting molested by older people while working on the Disney Channel.
God, Hollywood is so full of hypocrites.
I believe it. Well, I mean, they would pass around people like Corey Feldman just in these pedophile circles. We've always sadly been aware of this, and it's just It's disgusting, and this is why I have no problem just ripping Hollywood a new one in general, because they are hypocrites.
Yeah. They're the biggest hypocrites on the planet because they sit there and they push around these beautiful sounding things, right? Like, let's just hashtag believe women, right? But what about Corey Feldman? What about him? Like, what about people who actually, no, you're a bunch of hypocrites. Real people don't act the way they act in Hollywood. Normal people, the vast majority of normal people in the world don't behave in such depraved, disgusting ways. But you want to push off onto normal people the way that you guys behave and behave as though we're somehow the perpetrators of these horrible crimes. No, we don't act like that. That's you guys. You guys are the nut jobs, not us.
Only in Hollywood and Washington. But anyway. So yeah, needless to say, it doesn't sound like any of you ladies are on board with the new Charlie's Angels at all.
So I'll watch it. I'll watch it to trash it, probably.
To be fair, I'm not a Charlie's Angels fan, so I probably wouldn't have cared either way.
Yeah, I do have less investment in it than a lot of other things, but
I remember the show to some extent, and I remember the remake with Cameron Diaz. So I wouldn't say I was super invested in it, but I remember, God, the remake or the what was it? The one with Cameron Diaz was actually funny and fun. It was fun.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And so I think and it had the right idea in terms of what the angels were, right? So and it wasn't dripping, soaking wet with just this disgusting woke mentality and people pushing agendas because of it. So, I mean, yeah, I'll probably do the same as Becca. I'll probably watch it and rip it apart. Because come at me, bro. I'm a chick. What are you going to do about it?
All right. So I think with that, we're going to close it out because Mary has to get to a Spider-Man screening, if I'm not mistaken. You can tell by that grin on her face. So, of course, I want to thank the ladies once again for a wonderful show and joining us here on Midnight's Edge After Dark, just like the audience out there. And thank you so much for all the super chats once again. So, Mary, why don't you lead us out by telling everybody where you're from?
Well, hi guys. I am the mistress and disruptor of the narrative and official Whammon card holder. You can find me over on my channel, Mary Mayhem, which I will link in the chat here in just a second. And I hope to see you guys over there. We have a lot of fun. And I have a great time just pulling this nonsense, this garbage apart. It's a wonderful time for me. Because I can sit there and laugh maniacally. Because what are you going to do about it? You put all these women in power. Well, I'm a woman. What are you going to do about me? So, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Mary. And Miss Sarcastic Nerd, tell them where they can find you.
I am Miss Sarcastic Nerd, but everyone calls me Miss. And you can find me on YouTube. My channel is Miss Sarcastic Nerd, and my Twitter is at Ms. Sarcastic Nerd, MS instead of MIS. I'm cool. I like to say that because it's true. And subscribe to me, damn it.
All right.
Girl power.
They asked real quick in the chat, what are the chances of it being a double fake with Pat Stewart being the real Charlie? That makes more sense. But all right. So last but not least, as always, Mecca, tell them where they can find you in the writing crop.
Well, I'm always here on Midnight's Edge After Dark. I have my own channel, which you probably subscribe to. Hopefully, you better. I don't know why you wouldn't if you're over here. And Captain Harris subscribed to no one. He prefers stalking. Well, that's okay too. And I complain about everything from Star Wars to Star Trek. And I celebrate when they get it right. And hopefully the new Blackadder will get it right. I'm talking about that too.
All right. So you can check that stuff out on her channel. And be sure to check all the ladies out on their channel respectively. They got the links in the chat there. So do check them out. All right. I want to say thanks again for everybody here. And thanks for joining us on another episode of Toxic Femininity with Miss Sarcastic Nerd, Mary Mayhem, and Mecha Random 42. Thanks again, guys.